writings and speeches that are passed down from one generation to the next often take on a life of their own, surviving the test of time. For Lutherans, the Augsburg Confession is one such document. For over a decade, Luther's ideas and teaching had been disrupting the religious, political, and social fabric of Europe. In 1530, the Holy Roman Emperor looked to get a handle on things by calling the religious and politically powerful to a meeting at Augsburg. The people who found themselves in opposition to the doctrines of the papacy were asked to give a summary of their teaching. The question on the table for the Lutherans was, does their teaching fall in line with the Christian teaching handed down over the course of history? Luther's colleague, Philip Melanchthon, was assigned the task to make the case. He spent weeks crafting 28 articles that summarized the Lutheran teaching. But as is typical of Lutheran teaching, Melanchthon did not come up with this on his own. What he wrote reflected what Luther was teaching, and what Luther was teaching was rooted in the scriptures and the clear distinction between what God commands and what God promises. On June 25, 1530, Melanchthon presented his work to be read to the emperor. The Augsburg Confession held to its name. It was a confession of faith as much as a document of doctrine and legal language. And while it's a document considered by many to be something like the Lutheran Constitution, we have to be careful not to lose its original intent, a confession of faith rooted in the language of the Scriptures. At its core, the Augsburg Confession is exactly that, a public confession made by people who had heard Christ's promise of forgiveness and about which they could not be silent. All of this was said and done so you can remember a mighty fortress is our God.